Hey everyone, ready to tackle the wild world of laptops for college?
I think we all know it can be a little overwhelming.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, between the specs, the features, and trying to stay within a budget, it's like,
Yeah.
where do you even begin?
Right. And you don't want to be stuck with a laptop that can't handle the workload.
Exactly. That's why we're diving deep today into 8 of the hottest laptops on the market. We're talking Apple, HP, Acer, Dell, the whole gang's here.
And we're here to help you figure out which one's going to be your trusty sidekick through all those late night study sessions.
Okay, so first things first, let's talk performance. Because nobody wants a laptop that lags when you've got a million tabs open and a paper due at midnight. What should we be looking for here?
Well, the big things are the processor and the RAM. You're going to see a bunch of different processors out there, like Intel Core i3s, AMD Ryzen 3s and 7s, even Intel Celerons.
Yeah, that's a whole alphabet soup of processors. But what does it all actually mean for, everyday use?
So think of the processor as the brain of your laptop. A Core i3, like the one in the Acer Aspire Go 15, is going to be totally fine for most everyday tasks. But if you're planning on doing more demanding stuff, like video editing or running heavy-duty software...
Like for engineering or something.
Exactly. Then you might want to consider stepping up to a Ryzen 7, which you'll find in the Acer Aspire 3 Slim laptop.
So it's not just about going for the highest gigahertz number then?
Nope. Because even a super fast processor can get bogged down by things running in the background.
Oh yeah, like all those updates and stuff you don't even realize are happening.
Right. One of the reviews for the Acer Aspire Go 15 mentioned that the laptop felt slow at first. But it turned out to be a Microsoft account syncing issue. Once they sorted that out, it was smooth sailing. So understanding what's going on behind the scenes can be just as important as the specs themselves.
It's like thinking your car engine is busted when it just needs an oil change.
Haha. Exactly. All right, now let's move on to RAM, which is like your laptop's short-term memory. Think of it as your mental workspace.
Gotcha. So how much RAM do you really need to keep things running smoothly?
Well, if you're the type who likes to have a bunch of applications open at once, doing research, streaming music, taking notes, you'll probably want at least 8 GB. You'll find that in a lot of the laptops we're looking at, like the Apple 2024 MacBook Air and the Dell Inspiron touchscreen laptop.
8 GB is a good starting point then.
Yeah, it'll make a huge difference. But if you're planning on doing heavier stuff like video editing or running simulations...
Or if you're just a total tab hoarder.
Exactly. Then you might want to bump it up to 16 GB. The HP newest 14 ultralight laptop comes with 16 GB, so that's something to consider.
Okay, so we got the brains covered. Now what about storage? All those research papers, presentations, and let's be real, Netflix binges have got to go somewhere.
Oh, for sure. And this is where we talk about the different storage types you'll see. eMMC, SSD, and HDD.
Okay, break it down for us.
So eMMC is kind of the budget-friendly option. It's a type of flash storage, and you'll usually find it in less expensive laptops, like the HP Stream 14-inch laptop. It's decent for basic stuff.
But if you want speed, SSD is the way to go.
You got it. SSDs are like 5 times faster than those old HDDs. Everything just feels snappy, from booting up to loading apps.
It's like the difference between taking the scenic route and hopping on a bullet train.
Exactly. The HP newest 14 ultralight laptop uses an SSD, and the reviewers rave about how fast it is. Plus, SSDs are way more durable, which is perfect for students who are constantly on the go.
Makes sense. So what about eMMC then? Is it a deal breaker?
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Even though the HP Stream uses eMMC storage, reviewers say it still handles everyday tasks pretty well, like browsing the web, working on documents.
So it's not a powerhouse, but it gets the job done.
Right. It's a good reminder that specs aren't everything. Reading user reviews can give you a much better idea of how a laptop actually performs in real life.
That's so true. Speaking of real life, how much storage should we be aiming for? Because those files can add up fast.
For sure. I'd say a good starting point is 256 GB. That'll give you enough space for schoolwork and some personal stuff. The Lenovo IdeaPad 1 student laptop and the Apple 2022 MacBook Air laptop both offer 256 GB, which is a good sweet spot for most students.
What if you're dealing with massive files, though? Like for video editing or design projects?
Then you'll want to look at laptops with 512 GB or even 1 TB of storage. A few of the laptops we're looking at have those options, like the Apple 2024 MacBook Air and the Dell Inspiron touchscreen laptop.
Okay, so plenty of space to spread out digitally.
Exactly. So I think we've got the brains and the storage covered. Now let's talk about how these laptops actually hold up in the real world.
Yeah, because let's face it, college life can be tough on a laptop.
Oh, absolutely. You want something that can handle being tossed in a backpack, lugged across campus, maybe even survive a coffee spill or two.
The ultimate test of durability.
Right. Now, some laptops are designed with portability in mind right from the start. The HP Stream, for example, is super lightweight and compact. Plus, the touchscreen folds all the way back so you can use it like a tablet.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What about the more rugged options?
Well, if you're looking for something that feels really solid, the Lenovo IdeaPad 1 student laptop gets great reviews for its durability. One reviewer even said it felt like it could survive a drop or two.
That's reassuring for those of us who are a little, shall we say, accident-prone.
Haha, for sure. And of course, the Apple MacBooks are known for their sleek and sturdy aluminum construction.
Yeah, they definitely have that premium feel.
They do. Okay, so durability is one thing, but let's not forget about another crucial factor for portability: battery life. Nobody wants to be chained to an outlet all day.
Especially when you're running between classes or trying to find a quiet spot to study.
Exactly. So what's a good battery life to aim for?
Yeah, what's the magic number?
Ideally, you want a laptop that can last through a full day of classes and studying without needing a recharge. So I'd say look for laptops that advertise at least 8 hours of battery life.
8 hours is a good benchmark then.
Yeah, that'll usually get you through a typical day. The HP newest 14 ultra-light laptop actually gets amazing battery life. Some reviewers say it can last for up to 10 hours.
Wow, that's impressive.
Right. All right, now that we've covered the essentials, let's talk about the fun stuff. You know, those extra features that can make a laptop really stand out.
Like touchscreens, backlit keyboards, webcam quality. It's all about those little extras, right?
Absolutely. And just like with anything else, it all comes down to personal preference.
Right, like some people love touchscreens, others can't stand them.
Exactly. For some students, touchscreens are super useful, especially if you like taking handwritten notes or interacting directly with your work. Both the Acer Aspire 3 Slim laptop and the Dell Inspiron touchscreen laptop have touchscreens.
Makes sense. But a lot of people still prefer a traditional keyboard and touchpad setup.
Oh, for sure. It really depends on your learning style and how you like to work.
And speaking of keyboards, a backlit keyboard is pretty much essential for those late-night study sessions, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. Trying to type in a dimly lit library or dorm room is a nightmare.
Yeah, been there. Okay, what about webcams and microphones? Those are pretty important these days with all the online classes and virtual study groups.
You're telling me you want to make sure you can see and hear everyone clearly and that they can see and hear you.
There's nothing worse than that awkward silence when your professor asks this question and you're like, can you hear me now?
Totally. And you might be surprised to find that even some of the more budget-friendly laptops, like the HP Stream 14-inch laptop, come with decent webcams and microphones.
So you don't have to break the bank to get decent video and audio quality.
Nope. Which brings us to another important topic,
Yeah.
price. We all know college students are on a budget.
It's all about finding that sweet spot between features and affordability.
Right. And the good news is there are some fantastic laptops out there that won't drain your credit account. The Acer Aspire Go 15 Slim laptop and the HP Stream are both known for being budget-friendly without sacrificing too much on performance.
Music to my ears. What about the students who are willing to spend a bit more for premium features or a specific brand?
Well, if you're looking for top-of-the-line performance, a beautiful design, and that whole Apple ecosystem, then the Apple 2024 MacBook Air or the 2022 MacBook Air might be right up your alley. They're definitely an investment.
But you're getting that Apple quality.
Exactly. And if you're on the Windows side, the Dell Inspiron touchscreen laptop is a great premium option. It's got a powerful processor, a stunning display.
Basically, it's a powerhouse.
It is. So it really comes down to finding the right balance between your needs, your budget.
And that little something extra that makes you excited about using your laptop.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of finding the right fit, let's talk about operating systems for a minute. Most of the laptops we've talked about today run Windows 11.
The class.
Right. But you might have also heard of something called Windows 11 in S mode.
Yeah, what's the deal with that? Is it like elite version or something?
Kind of. It's designed for simplicity, security, and speed. It mainly runs apps from the Microsoft Store.
So it's like a curated selection of apps.
Exactly. And it's great for students who want a more streamlined experience.
And who don't need to install a bunch of software from outside the Microsoft Store.
Right. But here's the thing. If you ever need an app that's not in the Microsoft Store, you can switch out of S mode pretty easily.
Oh, so it's not a permanent thing.
Nope. One of the reviewers for the Acer Aspire Go 15, which comes with S mode, said switching out of it was super simple. So don't let that be a deal breaker if you find a laptop you love that happens to have S mode.
It's good to have options. So I think we've covered pretty much everything. We talked about performance, storage, portability.
Features, price, operating systems.
Ooh. It's amazing how much there is to consider when choosing a laptop. Yeah, seriously, it can feel kind of overwhelming.
It can, but hey, you're armed with all the info you need now.
Exactly. There's no one perfect laptop out there. It all depends on what you're looking for.
So true. But before we wrap things up, I wanted to touch on something we mentioned earlier, thinking beyond just the laptop itself.
Oh, yeah. What about accessories? Like, what are some things that can make the whole college experience a little smoother?
Definitely. A good laptop stand can be a lifesaver. Especially if you're going to be spending hours hunched over your laptop, it can really help with your posture and prevent those aches and pains.
Oh, for sure. My back is already starting to hurt just thinking about it.
Right. And a portable mouse can also make a big difference, especially if you're working with detailed stuff.
What about headphones? I feel like those are essential for blocking out distractions.
Totally. A good pair of noise-canceling headphones can be a game changer, especially in a noisy dorm or library.
And don't forget about a sturdy backpack or laptop sleeve to protect your investment.
Oh, absolutely. Those are must-haves.
Man, I wish I had known about all this stuff back when I was in college.
Me too! But hey, that's what we're here for, to help you guys avoid those rookie mistakes.
Exactly. So as we wrap things up, what's the one piece of advice you want our listeners to remember when they're out there laptop hunting?
Think about your specific needs and priorities. What are you going to be using this laptop for? What features are absolutely essential for you? And what's your budget?
So do your research.
Exactly. Read reviews, compare specs, maybe even go to a store and try out a few laptops in person. It's a big investment, so take your time and choose wisely.
And remember, this laptop is going to be your companion for the next few years. So choose one that you're excited about.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
It's not just about finding a machine, it's about finding a tool that's going to help you succeed in college and beyond.
I love that. Well, folks, that wraps up our deep dive into the world of laptops for college students. We hope this episode has been helpful.
And remember, you got this.
Don't forget to check out the show notes for links to all the laptops we talked about, plus those handy accessories we mentioned.
Happy laptop hunting, everyone.
And until next time, keep diving deep.